told me you've heard already, and I'm proud to do it again. For some, I wrote it on your poster, had with my picture on it. I pulled this rope out. I threw it over the edge of my desk with one player at a time. And I said, fellas, if you were hanging from this end of the rope, nothing between you but a 300-foot fall and certain death, who would you want holding this end of the rope, knowing that he loved you so much, his hands were so strong, he cared so much, he'd never let go? And of course, real names popped in like Robbie Smith, Manny Mantrana, and guys from 1984. Because in 83, well, we had a good team, a good record. I don't think we had a good team. But in 84, they held the rope story, and I said to them, fellas, when you can tell me it doesn't matter who holds on to the other end of the rope, as long as he's a teammate of mine, then we'll be one. See, we'll be free to disagree. We won't worry about small, petty fears. You'll be free to discuss, and you'll be free to fail, and you'll be free to know that you're loved by your teammates. Well, the season began, and they taped the top of the rope to the top of the dugout. The kids hit it once in a while in 1984. But the program turned around forever, and it's as much Doug Thompson in 1997 winning, or Blair Barbier, or 2000 for Blair, as it was for any other day. Maybe tonight's the night for you. See, here's what happened. If we win 2 of 3 from Auburn, we're the Southeastern Conference champions for that year. But if we don't, somebody else is. Not Auburn, but somebody else. We were better than Auburn, meaning we had better athletes. But winning and learning how to win and how to make it feel easy is hard. And we take it into the 9th, and everybody knows there's 9 innings. Okay, although the 2 games before were 7 innings in those days, there was 2 on Saturday, 7 innings, and 1 on Sunday. The Sunday game ends 1-1. And as you know, what makes sports so popular is there's always extra innings, extra rounds, extra holes for putting, extra quarters for football. We're going to give you a winner. We're never going to let you go home without knowing. Well, we went on. In the 10th, we score a run. Now we're trying to hold them in the bottom of the 10th. And a ball is hit to my left field, real kid, Manny Mantrana, a real good boy, good player. And from my angle, I could see that he can catch this ball. But it hits his glove and drops to the ground. And of course, spikes shuffle, and hands go in the back pocket, heads go down, mumbling bad body language, not good teamwork, not a transfer of motivation or trust. And it's purely an invisible lubricant, but it's transferable. In the next inning, we scored again. There was a man at third, and I bring in a real kid, Eric Hetzel from Crowley. Hetzel pitched in the big leagues later. The problem is he pitched the night before, and won the game. Okay, but he only needed the 1 batter. He said he felt good, and he threw his 8 warm-ups, and I said, we're going to win, right, Eric? And he said right, but it wasn't there. And as I turned to walk back to the dugout, I could see the bad body language and the transferring of non-trust. And it wasn't Eric's fault. My God, he threw the ball 95 miles an hour, and the kid touched it like this and blooped it over the third baseman's head, and the score was tied again. And I said, tiny, constant adjustments. I said what you should say, win. What's important now, W-I-N, is for you guys to believe in one another, for you guys to believe that we're going to win. Nobody scored in the 12th inning. In the 13th, we score. And I bring in Stan Lower from Eunice. He's the other freshman that pitched the night before in pitched a real good game, but lost. And he felt good. He only needed 3 outs. And he gets 2, and he's got a runner at first and second, and he turns around like this, and he's rubbing the ball up, and from the dugout comes a sound that says, "Stand! Stand!" It's Robbie Smith, a senior from Miami, Florida. He says, "Stanley!" And of course, you generally don't turn around, but this guy walked out a couple steps, and he said, "Stand!" And Stanley stepped off the rubber, and he looked over, and he says, "Hold on to the rope. Hold on." That changed everything. Marty LaNue at third base said to Jeff Reveley at short, "Hold on to the rope." Yelled across to John Dixon at first base, "Hold on to the rope." Yelled it into Rob Leary, the catcher, with his mask over here, "Hold on to the rope." Got a new ball, whipped it out to Stanley, said, "Hold on to the rope." I don't mean that Stanley grew any, but he seemed taller. I definitely threw it faster. He worked the count to 2-2 with 4 fastballs. And he threw the next fastball, and it was hit weakly on the ground. And as it started up to go to the shortstop, the dugout emptied. See, they didn't even wait for the shortstop to see if he was going to catch it or not. Naturally, with that kind of confidence, he picked it up, threw it over to second, and we were the champs. All of you want to be the champs. We want to be the champs at home. At work, they expect you to hold on to the rope of communication, to the rope of openness, motivation, and belief that you can. Of course, trust. At home, they expect you to hold on to the rope of love, the rope that says, "There's nothing that I won't do for you, that I care so much about you, I'll always be here." From Edgar Guest. He says he's going to be all that a mortal could be tomorrow. None